Hello and welcome back to the Tottenham Hotspur FM21 save. Hope you're all doing well today and looking forward to today's episode. We've got Viktora Plezn in a double header as we take them on in the Europa League second knockout round. And in between that, we have West Ham United in the Premier League. We've played one game since you guys were last here, and that one game was a 3-0 win against Leeds, with Son scoring himself a hat-trick, which was absolutely fantastic. So a great way to sort of, I don't know, get over the sort of annoyance of losing 1-0 to Sheffield United last episode. A great win for us in between. Unfortunately, as you can see here, Serge Aurier picked up a knock in that game. If we can find Serge Aurier on the news, if we look for Serge, there he is. He's injured for 2 to 3 months with torn knee ligaments. So he's out for the rest of the season, I would say, which is very frustrating. He's our best right back, but we do have Doherty there who can come in. To be fair, Doherty is actually very, very similar to Aurier. They're very, very similar players, so it's not like we're losing massive quality for the other one. They're fine to play and swap out with each other, but obviously it's good to have the backup of Aurier there with us. But that's the only bit of news really from in between episodes. Obviously only one game played, not an awful lot going on. In terms of the Premier League table, we are 9 points behind Man United with a game in hand on them, so essentially, if we win our game in hand, 6 points behind them. They need to drop a lot of points for us to catch them up and overtake. But again, we are 15 points behind Liverpool, so a long way to go there. Man United are actually a bit closer. They're 6 points behind Liverpool, so potentially they could maybe catch them if Liverpool start to slip up a few times. As you can see, they now have lost 3 games this season, including losses to Fulham and Leeds. So maybe they're on a bit of a downward spiral. If they start to lose more, United could catch them up. And if they both start slipping up, maybe that opens the door for us, but I just can't see it happening, really. So I guess what we'll do then is jump into today's game against Viktora Plezn. Once again, though, before we do that, I will be asking for a likes target of 300 likes or so on today's video. That would be hugely appreciated. And, of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already as we push towards 20,000 subs. So Hugo Lloris will start in goal for us, ever present as per usual. Very, very solid for us all season. Ben Davies, Longley, Garcia and Doherty make up the rest of that back line. Lo Celso and Benteke are going to combine in the centre of midfield today. Benteke is that ball-winning midfielder this time. Lo Celso a little bit further back because I'm going to give Dele Alli another go. He's got quality in him. And he can play well. I just don't quite understand why he's not playing well. I want to try and get to the bottom of it by switching his role up a little bit. So we've always had an attacking playmaker on support. So I thought maybe we just change it to a shadow striker, maybe, or so, I don't know. We'll see how it works, but we'll give it a go. Particularly when we're playing against Viktora Plezn, we don't have much to lose in that regard. I think we should be beating Viktora Plezn easily anyway, so we'll move Ali to a shadow striker instead. Draxler and Song are going to start out on the wings for us today, with Harry Kane leading the line. So, as kickoff is upon us, today is Tuesday, which means that Football Manager has been out for a week now. So, get yourselves down in the comment section. What do you like about Football Manager 2021? What don't you like about it? How's your save going? And have you won any silverware yet? Because I've not won any silverware yet. Apart from with Lincoln City, actually, an offline save. Won League One with Lincoln City, but actually on camera for you guys to see, nothing yet. Incredibly, 14 minutes into this game against Viktora Plezn, Eric Garcia has now picked up a potential foot injury. Not ideal. We'll bring Alderweireld on for him at centre-back, but if we lose him, we are running a little bit thin at the back. And as we approach half-time, there's not actually been a single highlight in this game so far. So potentially I have massively underestimated Viktora Plezn and how good they are. There was nothing in that half. One shot for them, 3 for us, nothing on a highlight. So I'm going to thrash my arms around and say I'm far from pleased from what I've just seen from this team. Other results have already finished. We seem to be like a very late kickoff for some reason. So Celtic having a fantastic European journey. They are currently 3-2 up against Napoli by beating them away from home. So you'd think that Celtic will go on to get themselves into the quarterfinals. Same with Arsenal. It's pretty similar in other places though, although Nice have just scored a goal. So I guess Nice are playing the same time as us. They're 3-0 up against Sivasspor. But as we roll through the second half, this is going to be the first game in the entirety of FM21 that I haven't seen a single highlight in. I've had highlights in every game, apart from this one so far. We're going to swap Longley and Ben Davies over. Ben Davies off for Tanganga. To be fair, Drax has not played very well, so let's bring Lucas Moura on at the end. And Son, I mean, no one's playing well. This is the issue. No one's playing well. Let's get Son off, though, for Bergwijn and just see if they can make a difference. Let's go very attacking. Let's shout, demand more. And finally, The first highlight of the game looks like it's going towards Viktora Plezn, which you hate to see as they look to bring it out of the back. They get it into our area. How's that gone in? How? So he's on the ball. He gets right to the byline. No one... I mean... When you try your best but you don't succeed. That's all I can say. I mean, I've come in here with absolute confidence that we are going to absolutely dominate this today. And we're losing 1-0 to Viktora Plezn. And again, it certainly is a bug with Football Manager that my screen keeps going off. Because it's only on Football Manager that the screen starts to go blank every now and again. It keeps doing it again. I mentioned it last episode. It's only happened in the past few days as well. So I presume there's been some sort of update which doesn't seem to like my screen or something like that. But... basically, it's gone off again. I have to look at this screen now, which isn't. It's a first world problem, isn't it? I suppose, really, that this keeps going off. But it's not ideal when I'm recording this for you. But also, what's not ideal is losing 1-0 to Viktora Plezn. I'm going to throw a water bottle. That was not good enough. And they all look demotivated. Why? Why are you demotivated by that? You've literally played absolute dog. Garcia out for 3 to 4 weeks as well, so that's another long-term injury in the back line, which isn't great. Luckily, Reguilon is just coming back from an injury, so he can sort of Ben Davies, but we need Aurea back, basically. We need Garcia back. I mean, hopefully we turn things around against West Ham and get a win in the league, but... Quite frankly, after that performance, I don't think we can. So, I guess we take Eric Garcia off for Alderweireld and then we bring Reguilon onto the bench instead. Obviously, Tanganga can play at right back and centre back should we need him to. We do need to change the midfield round because these players are looking very tired. And actually, we might not bring Reguilon. He's got 2 weeks left from his injury, actually. So we won't bring Reguilon on. We'll have to leave Ben Davies on slightly tired. What we'll also do is take off our centre mids because they're looking a little bit tired. So Lo Celso off for Ndombele, Sissoko on for Bentancur. Drax is going to drop this game for Lucas Moura, I think, and Dele Alli will have to stay, I think, for now, although I'd like to swim for Lo Celso, but Lo Celso's tired. So we'll leave Ali for another game, but not as a shadow striker because that did not work very well. We didn't have many shots in that game, so I do think we missed a playmaker. So I'll get the playmaker back in there and hopefully Ali does a bit better this time. But they're the changes that we'll make. Let's submit the team. Let's go to this game against West Ham and just not embarrass ourselves like we did last time. So as kickoff is upon us, the early kickoff of the day, Liverpool lost 3-1 to Brighton. They are truly in the mud right now because they are starting to lose games and other teams are catching up and potentially we could be one of them as we clear the West Ham free... No, we don't clear the West Ham free kick. It was our free kick to West Ham, which we haven't cleared very well. And they are now coming back towards us as they look to put the ball into the middle. If we concede another stupid goal like we did against Viktora Plezn, which we have done... How are we doing this? I swear all our players have got bipolar. And they sometimes, but not bipolar in terms of like their personality, just in the way that they play. And again, the screen's gone off again. Tom is coming for, not Tom, I'm Tom. I'm looking at my bloody self on the camera. That's oh, it's not going well today. I'm not sure what's worse. I've said Tom into the song, or I'm literally looking at myself and referring to myself in third person. It's not ideal. My screen's still not come back on. I think I need to report this as a bug. Massively. Thing is, I don't know how I'm going to report it as a bug because I can't get footage of it actually cutting out because the footage on my screen carries on playing, which is very weird. Half time 1-0 down though. I'm going to throw the bottle at them again. And you can look demotivated all you want, lads, but I'm throwing bottles at you. Each one of you, I've got a bottle with everyone's name on it, and they're all being thrown directly at their heads to get in this game. Let's go very attacking. Let's shout, demand more. Harry Kane's having a stinker. Son's having a stinker. Everyone's having a stinker, basically. Let's get some of these players off the pitch. Let's get Lo Celso on in the attacking midfield. Let's move Lucas Moura up front. Let's get Draxler on the wing. Let's do those two things for now as Doherty on the ball into Sissoko, into Dele Alli, back to Sissoko. Come on, work this into the box nicely. And Ndombele back to Sissoko, into Doherty. Not Doherty, it's Doherty. I'm getting angry. I'm getting so angry. I'm calling him Doherty, which isn't even his actual name. As Sebastian Haller gets the ball, Yarmolenko comes forward. I bet West Ham are going to score. I can feel it coming. I can feel the goal coming. It's not come, surprisingly. It might come to us as Son coming forward into Harry Kane. Harry Kane out wide. Cross to Lucas Moura. Just wide. I tell you what, it's a good job we're only doing this Tottenham save for the beta, because if we had to go more than the beta with this, I'd be very upset, as Ben Davies on a 5.9 rating What I wonder what you've been doing that's been so bad, Ben Davies. What have you been doing as we look like we're about to succumb to another 1-0 defeat this time out? You hate to see it. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't quite understand why we're not winning games. We're not doing anything differently to what we did at the start of the season when we couldn't not win. We won every game pretty much. Drew a few, but we couldn't concede goals. We conceded 7 goals in the first 6 months of the season. Not 6 months, but the first 4 months of the season. And now we're just like a leaky cauldron. I don't know if that's not a very good analogy, is it, Tom? I don't know why I said that one, but it's not ideal and it's not much fun. So there we go, another defeat. Let's thrash our arms around and say there's no excuse. There wasn't the option to throw a bottle at the end of the game there. They've clearly realised that I've thrown all my bottles away. I've got none of them left. Right, let's go and rescue this episode then. Let's go rescue it and beat Viktora Plezn, because otherwise it's not ideal. I think what we do is change a big chunk of our starting lineup, a huge chunk of it. Maybe the assistant manager knows what he's doing. He's telling me to make 4 changes to the team here. I've pressed do it. So he's made changes. He has done. Tanganga's playing, Winks is playing, Draxler's playing. I feel it was one more. I don't know who the person was, but they were the changes he told me to make. I've made those changes. So we're going to go with his team. Maybe he knows what he's doing. So I'm going to submit it, and I'm going to go for it. And, oh my gosh, if we lose to Viktora Plezn. So kickoff is upon us here. Viktora Plezn 1-0 up on aggregate. We have no away goals either, so we've got to win outright today. Son on the ball then, coming forward for us in the 8th minute of the game. He's found Draxler, who's in the area. Draxler is brought down, and that is a stonewall penalty if I've ever seen one before in my life. Referee, I don't know what we're going to VAR about because there's no need to check that. It's a penalty. Like you saw it, we all saw it. It's a penalty. Come on, just come back on the pitch. Tell us it's a penalty. What is it? Penalty awarded. Easy. I assume Harry Kane is taking the penalty as he steps up. He is taking the penalty. Go on, lad. Put it in the back of the net. He has done. 1-0. Good start. Come on then. Second highlight of the game. Doherty in a bit of space. Doherty to Draxler. I wasn't expecting a goal, if I'm honest with you, given how we performed so far in today's episode. I'm expecting that to go high and wide. But Draxler, with his 5th of the season since moving over to us from PSG, we're now in the lead. And as it stands right now, we are qualifying, which is very good. I was getting very concerned we'd be knocked out by Viktora Plezn. But all of a sudden, we've had 3 shots on target and 2 goals. Why could we not be this clinical against West Ham or in the first leg? This is what I mean by a little bit of bipolar in performances. Like Harry Kane's nearly put a great free kick in the back of the net there. It's a huge save from their keeper. But why is he not doing that more often? Why is he only turning up some games? We've got world-class players here. I'm expecting big performances every single game, and yet we're not getting it. Another chance for us to come forward just before half-time, although we've just given the ball. Longley loves to hoof up the pitch. I've noticed this quite a lot. We have instructions to play out from the back, but Longley does like a good hoof every now and again. I don't know if that's like his player trait, just hoof it, proper English style or something like that, but he loves to do it, and it always results in them winning the possession back and nearly scoring a goal like they nearly did then. But at least we're winning at half-time. We're going to put our hands on our hips. Maybe hands on our hips. I'm pleased with how things are going, but I don't want to be too pleased with you, but I'm pleased for now. I'll be honest, I'm also pretty exhausted recording this. I was off work last week to record and do stuff for Football Manager. This week I'm back in work and I've realised that actually, what a beautiful free kick it is from Harry Winks. But I've also realised that I get very tired when I've been working all day and then recording and editing all evening. So you'll have to forgive me because I think I'm talking gibberish half the time tonight. 3-0 up now with 20 minutes or so to go. We should be safe to qualify, although we have been given a bit of a scare in that first leg. So if we come up against, a Borussia Dortmund, or a Sivasspor, they're getting back into this game against Nice. That'd be quite an interesting one to see who wins that one in the end. But a Borussia Dortmund, or an Arsenal, or an Atletico Madrid, or an RB Leipzig that are in there as well, we can't make these same mistakes against those big teams, otherwise we are packing our bags and going home. which is very upsetting. But Dele Alli into Benfica makes it 4-0. That guarantees us now into the quarterfinals of the Europa League. So at least we've turned up for this game. Why can't we do this every single week with every single team? We should be able to. At the same time, it looks like my assistant manager was absolutely spot on with the lineup though. So a round of applause for him. Fantastic stuff to João Sacramento. I'm also going to say, how do I say, why is the one that does... Basically, I'm looking for the statement that says, why can't you do this all the time? But it's not there. So I'm going to give him... I'm going to put my hands together and say, well done. What have I done there? Oh, God, I said the wrong thing. I clicked on the wrong thing. I need to go to bed. £1 million though for winning that. That's obviously quite nice. A nice bit of prize money and things like that. We'll move on to the next day because the draw for the quarterfinals and the semi-finals is at the same time today on the 12th of March. As you can see, my birthday's on the 14th of March. So I'll be 24 in game, which is very, very nice. Right, quarterfinal draw. View the draw. Draw next team, Borussia Dortmund versus us. The worst possible draw we could have had. Nice looked like they beat Sivasspor in the end there, obviously, as well. Celtic get Leipzig, Nice get Arsenal, and Porto get Atletico Madrid. I wish we could have avoided Dortmund, but we're going to have to try and play them now. And if we do beat Dortmund in the semi-finals, we will be against Celtic or RB Leipzig. Two teams that I think we could beat, to be fair. I'll struggle against Dortmund, but I think we could be beating Celtic or Leipzig. We'll see how it goes. But that is going to be that for today's episode. Obviously not ideal with all those results, but at least we did turn it around with a big 4-0 win and stay in that Europa League competition. So that's a big positive there. Unfortunately, I just cannot see a situation where we now catch up with Liverpool or Man United, really. We're 10 points off United now, which isn't ideal. So unless they massively capitulate and we win every single game for the rest of the season, we're just going to battle for top 4 at the moment and get back into Champions League football and win a Champions League next season. So thank you very much for watching today's episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed it despite the results and despite me being very tired and despite me probably not making much sense at all tonight, basically. I hope you enjoyed it anyway. Drop a like on the video for me. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And I will see you next time. Have a good one. Goodbye.